Right, the business of the X30 Mini Final is ahead of us then. Longest race for these young drivers to the ages of, in the year of their 9th birthday, up to 12 years old. 15 laps, 21.420 kilometres are ahead of them to decide which one of them will be able to take the title of Miami Winter Cup winner 2024. There is your pole sitter on your screens. Bruno Priam has been in great form so far this week, but has actually yet to win a race. He's been in this position of P1, very consistent with results of second, third, and second so far this week. I mean, there's one way of looking at it. If you're going to win a race, why not the last one of the weekend?
No, exactly.
And break your duck. But we'll need to get the start right here, I think, in this one. But does have, of course, the inside line here at Valencia. There is Oliver Warner. Started the weekend very well. Took the heat win yesterday in the first round. Results of 3rd, 5th, and then 2nd earlier on today in the super heats. He's got a really good chance, I think, in this race. There's Austin Gibson on your screens, the 817, starting on the 9th row of the grid. And this is always the way with one of these finals, Anthony. You look through the order. This is all the best drivers now together on the grid for the first time this weekend. You just read through the names and you go, well, yeah, if they have a good race, they could stand a chance of at least getting on the podium. It's going to be a good one.
It is indeed. There, the driver from the Netherlands, Daniel Miron Lorente, who qualified it on pole on Friday, himself has had a qualifying heat win, and of course he won his superheat earlier on today. He starts in the prime opportunity there, 3rd place, right behind Bruno Priam. The driver starting alongside him, though, is George House, 2nd in qualifying, has not taken a race win so far this weekend. His best result has been a 2nd, 3rd and a 5th, and then came 4th in his superheat. So he's had the best of both. He's just waiting for that #1 spot. Will that come in this final?
Same situation as Bruno Priam. We know the speed is there.
Yeah.
Just got to go out. And again, this is the opportunity with this 15-lap race now to just play the long game. It's going to be a race where tactical awareness is very much needed for the drivers out there. There's the 850 of Alfie Davidson briefly on your screens. Very interested to see how this driver gets on, Anthony. Zdeněk Babacek, 3rd in this race last year, starts this year 5th on the grid, but particularly strong earlier on today in the super heats where he took a win. Also had a win in one of the qualifying heats earlier on this week. Keep your eyes on the Czech driver. Yeah,
certainly so. Very quick driver as well. Austin Newstead, this is a driver also that you need to keep an eye on. Has had some absolutely superb results. Qualifying didn't go his way, 26th place, 13th in the first race, but then won his next 2 races after that one and then finished 3rd in his superheat. And that has put him into the 3rd row of the grid for this final. That is a superb recovery after qualifying.
And has played the length of the races very well. We've seen him coming on strong in the second half of races. This is, again, exactly the kind of race where Austin Newstead could shine. There's Ross Upton walking towards the front of the grid and making sure that everyone's following the procedures, and soon we'll get this race underway here at the Cartodromo Internacional Lucas Guerrero. Thank you for joining us here on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the day's action, whether you're here at the circuit or watching from home around the world. Board going up in the air there to tell the drivers how much time is remaining before the formation laps, and it's 1 minute before we roll for the X30 Mini Final.
Certainly so. Tense times now for a lot of our drivers. Remember, €1,000 on the line, a full season entry and a ticket to the IWF. To secure that at the start of the season, like we said earlier, a huge confident boost for the rest of the season. Many of these drivers will want to emulate what Jesse Phillips did last year here at this circuit. He won the Winter Cup. He then went on to win the Miami Euro Series. So that's always a good sign. If you can win this one, it's a good sign that the rest of the year is going to be absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, the events will come thick and fast. We will be in Zuera for round 1 at the end of the month, just as we go into March as well. Very much looking forward to that event. There's Gonzalo Planta stood on the right-hand side of your screens, our Deputy Race Director. He's been a busy man this weekend. But here we go then, Anthony. Here is your grid for the final in X30 Mini.
Certainly so. It's going to be an interesting one. 36 drivers now whittled down from the many drivers who entered into this weekend. It's Priam Bruno and Oliver Warner who start this one on the front row. Then it's Daniel Miron Lorente from George House, Yannick Babacek and Austin Newstead on row 3 from Ludwig Granquist, and Stan Rajaski on row 4. Noah Grenier and Anton Bouchard on row 5 from Mathis Brajot, and Max Cruz on row 6. Freddie Wood and Harry on row 7. You've got Ivan Gonzalez and Romeo Mello on row 8, with Colby Patterson and Austin Gibson rounding out row 9.
Nuevo Morales starts on row 10 alongside Tony Catafiro. Should note Morales took a heat win earlier on in the week. Could be a dark horse in the middle of the pack. Samuel Hugon starts on row 11 alongside Alfie Davidson. Bruno Greeling and Abraham Shelvis go from row 12. Charles Ural has done well to recover into this final. Starts on the 13th row of the grid alongside Will Green. Alexander Rugstad and Zoltan Koini go from row 14. Ollie Simstar and Sukhmani Kira, who had a scary spin in her first heat, has recovered through, is on the 15th row of the grid here in this one. That's your top 30. Other drivers to wrestle their way into the top 36. Augustin Baptiste on the 16th row of the grid alongside Luis Bieland, Aidan Valio and Christian Kobe on row 17. And last but not least, Alvaro Perello and Luca Pavel on row number 18. It's a full grid, Anthony, 36 karts. There are live pictures from Race Control. David Manchester, our head of Race Control, supported fantastically by Sarah Blanco and Joanna Falcao. They're ready to go racing. We're ready to go racing here in the box, Anthony. Are the drivers ready? Well,
that's the ultimate question, but I think the answer to that is a firm yes, I think. I want to turn your attention to tyres. Again, we like to do that. Nearly the entire grid has got a brand new set.
Yeah.
I think everyone all the way up to the 10th row of the grid, a full brand new set. Row 9, Colby Patterson and Austin Gibson have only got new tyres on the left-hand side, but everyone up to that row there, yeah, all of them, brand new tyres. Completing their kart. So there we go. That's what they've chosen to go for. Sun is still high up in the sky here. The weather is beautiful. Around 20 degrees here in the Spanish sun. 30 minutes outside of Valencia, and we are about to go racing here. It's the final time we see the Mini X30s do battle here at the Cartodromo Internacional. Lucas Guerrero into the tram lines. Lights go out and away they go. Down in towards turn number 1, and it's a great start from Bruno Priam. He holds the inside line, but watch out for Babacek on the inside row as well, as he tried to go for it, but he couldn't quite do it. 1 kart, 3 kart, 4 karts going off at the first corner, and that looks like the 845 that's gone off the track there. That's Christian Kobe at the back of the field. There was a couple more as well that had gone off. I'll let you know who they are, but certainly not a good start at all. That looks like the 824 going slowly as well. That will be Ollie Svinstad as well, who started this one in 29th. He didn't get a good getaway, but at the front, Bruno Priam is looking good.
He's looking good indeed. He's got a bit of support from behind in the shape of Daniel Miron Lorente, who has followed through from grid 3, has stuck to the plan, which I'm sure was in his mind before this race, of push through on Bruno Priam. They've had some good races so far this week, these two, and they're going to go at it again. George House has had a good start. Also, should note, brilliant shift across from Austin Newstead on the outside, but was able to get to the inside before turn 1, and he's gained 5th place out of all of this.
Nice little hit at the curb there for Bruno Priam, just as he goes through that final chicane. Back onto the start-finish straight now, and Daniel Miron Lorente. Now, I suspect these two might just do the inevitable of work together, open that gap up, but trust me, that will change. They won't just go, oh, okay, I'll let you have it. They're fighting for an IWF ticket here and €1,000. The prize difference between second place and first is humongous.
Yeah, it's a potentially season-defining moment. I know it sounds a bit crazy to say that early in the season, but it could make a real difference to how they get on in 2024 through Sector 2 towards turn 11. Holding station at the moment is Miron Lorente. Warner there in 3rd place, trying to close in. George House has slipped back a bit. He's into 8th place now. Who else is also on the move? Nuevo Morales is up 4 spots to 15th. Still a long way to go in this one, and all the cliches related to that. But at the front, Priam and Miron Lorente. Priam a little bit deep, but made a good recovery going through the chicane. Holding firm. What's the pace looking like? 1 minute 3.9s for the top runners. fastest driver out there, Anthony, is one man who's done a lot of overtaking so far this weekend. Noah Grenier for Euro Karting, up 3 already in this race and into the 1 minute 3.7s.
Yeah, again, you've got to keep an eye on the entire field as well. And I suspect Daniel Miron Lorente will go for a move fairly soon here. If he checks over the shoulder and sees Ollie Warner there, remember, 2's company, 3's a crowd. He does not want a third driver in this battle, as Oliver Warner is under investigation. Now, what is that for? At this stage of the race, you would think it's for a start line infringement.
It was very, very close on the line. That's just an investigation at the moment. We'll update you on any more news as and when it comes. But that won't bother these drivers now. They've got a race to get on with. There is Oliver Warner for GGM. Had a very good weekend. Be proud of what he's achieved here this weekend at Valencia. There's a good bit of work going on behind with Babicek and Newstead. Remember, Babicek 3rd in this race last year. Wants to improve on that position. 1 minute 3.680 for Priam last time around. 1 minute 3.6 as well for Miron Lorente. Ludwig Granquist is having a good start to this race for Falcon Racing Team. Has got past Grenier for 6th spot. But it's just getting into the rhythm now, this race. It's the longest race for our mini drivers this weekend, our youngest drivers here this weekend. More than twice the laps they were doing yesterday in their heats, of course. They've got to take care of themselves. We're pretty much past the heat of the day, but it's still pretty warm out there. Air temperature 18 degrees, track temperature will be a lot higher.
It certainly will be. That'll be rising all the way throughout this one. So no word yet on that investigation. I'm keeping an eye on the timing screen, which does have a handy little slot there for penalties that do get added on for any drivers in the race. So I'll keep a close eye on that one. I'll also keep a close eye on this battle here. Let's have a look at the race start on that one. Oh, well, I don't know. From that angle, you can't see anything. No. But obviously from the 30 other camera angles that Race Control have, you can see a lot more than what we can. So, yeah, we can't make a call on that, but they certainly can. Right, but the race start itself was okay, apart from all this down here. The 4 drivers involved in that one, 2 of them getting away quickly, and it was the 818 that was also getting caught out there. That's Alexander Rogstad, who also got caught out in that first corner incident, in towards turn 3 and 4. All okay was there, wasn't it? Yeah, it was all absolutely fine and dandy. No problems there for the rest of the field. Everyone got into their position pretty early. There you can see Stan Ratajski there also just slotting in. A little bit of defensive moves on the first opening lap in towards turn number 11. But all of them getting away relatively calmly and cleanly. Back here with the live pictures, we're on lap 5 of this final. And Bruno Priam, well, again, he's not comfortably in the lead here. He has that just constant reminder that Daniel Miron Lorente is right there on his rear bumper with Oliver Warner right behind them as well.
Change of position. Mathis Brageau has got up into the top 10. In fact, make that P9. George House is also improving again. P7 now, has got past Grenier. Top 10 currently covered by 4.5 seconds, which in the minis is a lot of time at all, especially when you've got 10 laps to go here at Valencia. Oliver Warner is closing in now. He's used the slipstream well. And he's almost there, Anthony, at making this a 3-car battle for the lead.
Oh, yeah, very close. I mean, it's going to take one missed apex, and then it's a 3-car battle. In fact, no, you know what? I'm going to say it right now. It is a 3-car battle. He's right there. You know, he's right within that slipstream range on this back straight. He'll be with them if anything happens. Yannick Babicek, though, has a decision to make here. Does he drop back to Austin Newstead a little bit now? And they work together as 2 karts to push up to this battle. What history tells us is that this battle here will close up. They will start scrapping. The groups behind, they will close up. That's what history tells us. In the finals, you never get a race like this all the way into the last lap. Sometimes it's happened once in a blue moon. You get a race where first and second work together and don't do absolutely anything until the very last lap. We saw it earlier on, but that was a superheat, not a final. Finals are always exciting.
Absolutely. A few more changes of position just to report. Stan Ratajski has got up to 9th place. In fact, I think quite a few positions lost there for Mathis Brageau. He's lost out to Cruz, Morales, Ferry as well. Keeping an eye on Morales, because that's 8 positions gained now for the Spaniard racing with AC Motorsport here this weekend. It's on the clutches of the top 10 now. We're on lap 7. And the pace is starting to ramp up in that group behind. It includes Ludwig Granquist, who's just gone purple through sector number 1. Is this the time when Priam and Miron Lorente start to increase their pace? Great third sector there from Oliver Warner. He's keeping himself in the discussion here. 0.069 between Priam and Miron Lorente. I've got to say, though, I know it's expected at this level, but these young drivers just look so calm. They look so poised out there. They're not panicking. They know what the situation is. They know they've still got a long way to go, and they're keeping the pace up really well.
They are keeping the pace up really well. They are half race distance now, but yeah, like you say, everyone's just slowly eked in now, and it's not a breakaway right now. It is obviously a 3-cut breakaway, but they're not losing. Zenit Babacek, Newstead, Granquist, House, Grenier, they're all still there. They're right behind, and they're ready to pick up the pieces when this does kick off. And I've got a feeling it might kick off on this next lap here, because I'm looking at Daniel Miron, and he's just riding that rear bumper now, and he's probably thinking, I don't like Ollie Warner, and he's right there. I need to get past here. I need to get in front and see if I can try and break away even more now than you. Out to the final chicane. Nothing happening this time around between them. As he looks over his shoulder, can see that Warner's there, and again is committing to the slipstream, committing to the toe, not pushing too hard. Updates further down, there is still some changes happening. Will Green and Romeo Mello have managed to both get past Matthias Brachot, who's dropped down to P15. Will Green is on an absolute charge in this one. 13 positions gained, the same as Novello Morales, who's gained 10 positions up into P9, is within the top 10 now, as we look back to the group just behind. So this is Zenit Babacek, Newstead, and Ludwig Granquist. Granquist, who's been he's been on one, hasn't he, yeah. Granquist? It wasn't a great qualifying for him, was it? And he certainly came through in these qualifying heats. I
think this is a very important phase of the race for the Swedish driver. Last time around, he was on a 1 minute 3.8. The two drivers ahead of him 1 minute 4.1. So if he wants to go for it, I think he's got to go for it now and take command of this chase group, because what they don't want to have happen is that gap between third and fourth get too big. It's 1.4 seconds at the moment, and yes, Granquist is going for it. This is absolutely the right call for me. Pushes Austin Newstead through there into fourth place. Tactical change then. What is the gap? It's 1.6 seconds between that first trio and then this second trio. Looks like George House is just being dropped. This is going to be a big lap for George House, racing with Ollie Rowland Motorsport this weekend. He's got to keep himself in there. There's still a good amount of time left on the clock and on the lap count.
There is plenty of time. Understandably, that gap will have come up a little bit there while they sorted it out. This was it here. So it was a double slipstream here for Austin Newstead and for Ludwig Granquist. Both of them getting past Zenit Babacek, and it just showed, look at the gap that they'd managed to pull from that angle there, managed to close it up. So it's still a group of 3, and there you can see there the hand gestures. Right, now I'll push you and let's see what you can do. Babacek wasn't closing in as quickly as I think we'd liked, is what they were being saying there, and now they're going for it. These 3 haven't changed once at all. They have stayed the same, but Warner has closed right back in now to them. He's always had that little bit of a gap between the two of them, about a kart length gap. Now that gap has disappeared. It is one group of 3 karts now and 2 groups of 3 karts. George House, he's in a really tricky spot here now, isn't he? Because he doesn't want to have to fall back to the likes of Noah Grenier and Novello Morales there, 8th and 9th place, and Stan Ratashki. You know, they're a little bit... I don't want to say they're too far back, but they are. They're a little bit too far back, and you'll lose more time than you'll gain. So he just needs to try and stick with it now, and this will help him out as Babacek goes back down the inside of Granquist. He leaves the door open and moves back up into P5 now. So Babacek wanting to redo that. And all the meanwhile, while they're scrapping, these 3 still aren't. And that means the gap is getting ever bigger. They have to be careful. That second group of 3, yes, okay, you may not be catching, but you're not dropping back if you stay in single file line. If you start scrapping, yes, you will drop back. You need to be patient. You need to wait for these to start scrapping if they start scrapping.
12th place has changed hands. Romeo Mello has got past Max Cruz for that one. Cole Patterson, who's impressed this weekend, is into the top 20 as well. 4 laps to go then. Bruno Priam has led this one from pole position, but we've said that several times here at Valencia this weekend, and he's not had a race victory up to now. Daniel Miron Lorente has. He's had 2 in the last 2 appearances for the young Dutch driver. Oliver Warner tasted winning earlier on in the weekend, of course, in the first round of heats, but good couple of corners there from Bruno Priam. Has he been holding something in reserve here? Is he pushing even harder now, trying to break away? It's going to be very hard to do. The slipstream is powerful in these X30 Minis, particularly as they come here into sector number 3.
It certainly is. Well, again, as they continue round onto the back straight, just no room for error for any one of these drivers. And yeah, you say it was difficult, but yeah, that shows that slipstream straight away right on that rear bumper. And now, oh, I thought Warner was going for a move there. I thought he'd pulled out of the slipstream to the inside. He hadn't. It was purely the camera angle playing a trick on me there. Check over the shoulder. Now we're going to start seeing it. Here we go. Miron Lorente to the inside. Warner follows as well. That's the first move. Priam Bruno, or Bruno Priam, I should say, there in third place. And now, watch out for that battle behind. Newstead, Babicek, Granquist. Are they going to have enough time to close in already? They've taken up 0.2 of a second between them. Yeah,
they've got to stay organised now because the battle has started at the front of the order. Sector 2 is going to be very telling for that chase group. But Daniel Miron Lorente is moving off the front of the group now. This is what we've seen him do in the last couple of rounds of heats. Can he do it again? But it's sector 3 once again where he's going to be vulnerable. Oliver Warner is going to be right on his tail as they head towards the chicane.
Certainly so. Here we go then on to that back straight now. Checking over the shoulder, going defensive. And again, you can see the bumper bashing coming in there as Bruno sweeps to the outside there, wheel to wheel with Warner. Warner goes over the curb. Oh, and he holds on to second place. No, he's going to have to relinquish that one as well. He drops down to third, and he says to Daniel Miron, does Bruno Priam, just keep going. Keep going, don't fight. And now, look at this. It's 5 karts for the race lead here. 2 laps to go. There's €1,000 up for grabs here and a ticket to the IWF plus a full season. Here we go, down the inside. Zdeněk Babicek back into that position now. Austin Newstead trying to get alongside again, but he can't quite do it. This is great stuff. It's all coming down to the end.
Got to stay calm at this point. It's still open for all of them. That was a great read by Babicek. There was a slight hesitation, perhaps, from Newstead as Warner had a moment off of turn number 4. Daniel Miron Lorente still has the lead here. Down the inside goes Babicek. That's third place. That's where he finished last year. He's not come to repeat his result from last year. He wants second, if not first. Through goes Newstead as well, up into 4th place. They've got one more lap to go once they've made it through the chicane. Different lines being pulled by the drivers through the chicane. They go a little bit deep for Miron Lorente, but he's going to go onto the lead into the last lap in the lead of this one.
Here we go then, final lap time, and away they go, down in towards turn 1, and now it's 6 karts battling. Samuel Hugden there with a 5-second in-race time penalty, but we're focused on this one here, in towards turn number 3. Now Babicek spins. Zdeněk Babicek spins, and that is due to contact there with another, and it's Newstead. The 874. It's Austin Newstead who he got tangled with. And oh dear me, that's not what you want to see at all. They tumble down the order, and that's their race over, and that's just opened everything up here. Miron Lorente now leads uncontested from Bruno Priam, and now it's the battle for third place, the last one on the podium, the first round entry, and the €250. Who is going to take it between these three here? Ludwig Granquist at the moment is holding that final spot on the podium, but he is under pressure here from George House. George House, can he get into third place? Down in towards the inside here at the final corner. He outbrakes himself. Granquist goes off the track. He rejoins, but it's Daniel Miron Lorente. Daniel Miron Lorente from the Netherlands, he will take the win. €1,000, and Newstead gets a warning flag on the last lap as well, but Daniel Miron Lorente, he gets €1,000, the full season entry into the IAME Euro Series and the ticket to the IWF, the IAME Warriors final. He has made it, and that is how you start the 2024 season.
Absolutely, a superb job from Daniel Miron Lorente, your winner in the X30 Mini category at the 2024 IAME Winter Cup. It was the tried and tested method from earlier on in the competition. He liked being there in P3. He's been quietly confident all week, and when it mattered most, he delivered a 3rd race victory in a row. He started in the qualifying heats. That 3rd round was where he really hit his stride. He won the super heat this morning as well, but this was the one that mattered. As you say, Anthony, €1,000, a spot in the Euro Series for the entirety of 2024, and he'll be going to the IWF at the end of the year.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, there's a look then at the provisional classifications at the end of the Mini X30 final. It's Daniel Miron Lorente from Bruno Priam, Ludwig Granquist, Novella Morales and George House, Noah Grenier from Oliver Warner, from the rest of the field as well. Romeo Mello from Max Cruz, Stan Radashki from Anton Bouchard, Will Green, great drive from him, 14 places gained up to P12. Colby Patterson as well, just finishing there in P13. Matheus Brageau and Freddie Wood. Zdenek Babacek rounding out the top 16 from Samuel Hugden and Bruno Greeling. But there in Parc Ferme, you can see the congratulations for Daniel Miron Lorente. And look what it means that himself and the team, that is how you start a season. That's how you do it. And even for Priam Bruno, you know, Bruno Priam, he's still a brilliant result for him.
Yeah.
Still a huge chunk of change, and the first 2 rounds of the IAMA Euro Series
a
as
lot
well.
to take from this weekend and have promised for 2024. But I think this is going to be a really popular victory in the paddock. So Daniel is a lovely young man. He goes about racing in the right way, if you ask me. It's a very family affair, this team, of course, as well. And this is going to be one of the proudest days in the young career of Daniel Miron Lorente.
There it is, and now he can even console friends and family and outside the paddock there, and of course surrounded by media. There is some more of the drivers just getting themselves in, and there we go. That's what we need to see. Nice big hugs all around for Daniel Miron Lorente, and it just shows it's not just for family, it's for friends as well of the drivers. It means so much to them as they get it done. But for Daniel, I'm sure that's a huge weight off his shoulders, but it's not all of the weight off his shoulders, as he's got a full season of IAMA Euro Series of racing to go, and of course, the IWF.
Well, wonderful to hear our top 3 there celebrating on the podium. We'll now ask our delegates, James Geidel, Hugh Viney and Lucas Guerrero, to present the IAMA Euro Series entry tickets. 3rd place receiving the first round entry, 2nd place receiving the first 2 rounds, and our race winner receiving a full season entry ticket to this year's IAMA Euro Series. Hold those there, guys, and let's get some photos in for our photographers down there on the podium. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant to see. We'll ask Mark to come in, we'll lower those down, and we will then present the next checks that will be coming out of the podium. Again, we ask our delegates to join us on the podium to present the winning prize money. 250 euros for 3rd place, 500 euros for 2nd place, and 1,000 euros for your race winner. That is a huge chunk of change presented to these drivers, and a fabulous result for them. Hold those checks up exactly the same as you just did, guys. Nice big smiles to all the photographers down there on the ground. Congratulations. That is a nice lot of pocket money that you can take and stick in your back pocket. Perfect. If we bring those checks down, and then we'll go on to the trophies, and we will ask James Geidel from RGMC to present the 3rd place trophy to Ludwig Granquist. Ludwig with a brilliant result in this race. He collects his 3rd place trophy after an absolute superb performance on the track. Next, we will present the 2nd place trophy for the driver Bruno Priam after another superb drive in the final. And then finally, the winning trophy to Daniel Miron Lorente from the Netherlands, collecting his winner's trophy. Hold those up nice and high to the side, guys, and smile for the podiums. And finally, the team's trophy being presented, of course, to Ilona Van Spijker, representing Daniel Miron Lorente. Hold those up. Nice big smiles for the cameras. Perfect stuff. Well, congratulations to our Mini X30 finalists. You can now get ready for some champagne, guys. Pop those trophies on the floor. I would stay clear, if I was you, from this next bit. Yes, I think removing the helmet, that's a smart move there. And perfect. We will start with the champagne. The first one of the season. Is there something special about this? I think so. Nice and steady with it, boys. When you're ready, it's champagne! Oh, it gets everywhere. Well, perfect stuff. There we go. Well, Daniel, don't go too far for me, please, because we will be presenting one more ticket for us. Daniel, come on over to this side here. And the camera's just over there to the side. Pop that champagne bottle down. I'm going to present you with this lovely ticket here, an IWF 2024 ticket. You don't only win €1,000, a full season, but also an entry into IWF this year. What a way to end the first weekend.
I'm very happy for the results this season, this first race. And I want to thank my old team driver for letting me drive here. All my family and everybody who's watching me.
Well, it was a superb final. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, Mini X30 and Daniel Miron, your race winner.